Hi, Jocelyn with Walter's World, and we're here in Rouen, France, and we were just talking about some things that you can do to plan ahead when you're taking kids on a big trip, which we do a lot. So, yeah, here we are with all our stuff. So some of those things that we do initially is we ask our kids where they want to go. We give them choices, we pick places, and then we kind of ask their opinion on which thing they would like to do. You know, maybe if we can't decide between cities, we let them be the tiebreaker. So it gives them a vested interest in what we're doing. We also talk about the trip a lot. We hype it up. We have them watch maybe Bugs Bunny when he goes to the Coliseum before we go to Rome. You know, find things, movies, TV shows, kind of get them excited about something before they go and experience it. Another thing we always try to do is book, if you need them, book hotels with baby beds. Just telling someone that you have a 1-year-old or a 6-month-old will not get you a baby bed. And if you want to get some sleep, you want to get a baby bed, so do it ahead of time. Another thing we do is I pack for my whole family, but I let them pick out their clothes, and I have to kind of give them choices again as to whether or not, weather appropriate stuff, and I like them to wear bright clothes so that I can spot them, so I might pick out certain things and ask them to pick between them. And again, that gives them a little more responsibility and a little say-so in what's happening, and it really gets them involved. And another way to do that is to have them carry their own stuff. Of course, we pack everything as compactly as possible, but the kids get their own little backpack with, maybe a DS or some crayons or books or whatever. And having them carry that, make sure that it's light enough that they can handle it, having them be responsible for that on the days you're on a plane or a train or whatever, gives them, again, a vested interest in what's going on. And so, the kids they're happy to carry stuff around because it's their stuff, and it makes them feel a little more important and a little more part of the team, and we've got to all pull our own weight, so it's cool for them. Another thing we try to do is to book the bulkhead seats. Often they're reserved for people in wheelchairs or who have mobility issues, but when you get to if you can ask ahead, and if those are reserved, sometimes when you get to the gate, you can ask then, and you may be able to get them. And on European airlines, those bulkhead seats are called the bassinet aisle, and they have these fantastic little beds that probably a kid up to maybe 16 months or so, depending on size, could fit into, and they just slide down on this little thing, and your kid goes right in a bed, and they have blankets, and they buckle them, and that's a lifesaver. When you're on a 10-hour flight, every little thing helps, and having a bed for your kid is fantastic. So if you can do that, book ahead and check and see if you can't get either the bulkhead or the bassinet aisle. Something else that we do to plan ahead is we kind of go through the rules. Our kids know them pretty much by now, but we try to set rules ahead of time and talk about them, because your rules when you're traveling are different than the rules you have at home. Like holding hands when you're going through a parking lot or crossing streets. Just go through those, and they'll be different for every family, I would assume. But you've got the basic safety things, and maybe practice them here and there before you go, so your kids get used to it, and it's not all new when you get to wherever it is that you're going. We plan a lot of do-nothing days. If we could, if it were just up to Mark and I, we'd probably be in a new city every 2 days. But with kids, you just can't do that. So we allow them a day of absolutely nothing. We may stay in a hotel room for 8 hours and watch TV in French or Spanish or whatever, and just hang out and have family time, talk, read books, just relax. It's an idea that maybe you don't always get when you're traveling because you're trying to see so many things, but it's really helpful for us. We also plan kid activities. We go to Isla Magica in Seville or Gardaland near Milan. Just these little cute amusement parks are actually a lot cheaper than Disney World and Disneyland, and many of them are very kid-oriented. They have a lot of things that kids of smaller stature can do, so that's a really great thing. We also like to take our kids to zoos. we went to the Alpen Zoo on this trip in Innsbruck, Austria. And it was really cool. It was all indigenous animals. So we got to see something that maybe we wouldn't see at like the San Diego Zoo or something. It was just kind of special. So kid activities and do-nothing days can kind of save your sanity, and they can fix your patience. And that's the last thing on our list probably, is patience. You think your patience wanes at home. Dear Lord, it's tried even more when you're traveling and you have train schedules and plane schedules and all sorts of crazy things going on and 1,000 people all around you. Your patience can wane quickly. So prepare yourself mentally for that, and talk to your kids about how they can help you and how they can have more patience too. And that may be your biggest godsend, along with those do-nothing days and kid activities. They all just go together. And really, last thought, if you can, ask Grandma to come with you. Grandma's great for, just taking the kids for 20 minutes. You and your husband can have an adult conversation and not have to deal with, Mom, Dad, blah, blah, blah. It's great. It's also a wonderful experience for your family as a whole, and your kids get to spend time with another generation in an unusual place, and that setting just changes everything, and the family dynamic, I think, is really strengthened by having another generation thrown in the mix. So those are some of our top ideas for preparing a trip. Get your kids involved, talk about what you're going to do and see, book your bulkhead seats, your bassinet row, make sure you have baby cots or other bedding that you may need at hotels. Have your kids carry their own stuff if they can, within reason, of course. Get them involved as much as you can. So that's it for us. I'm Jocelyn with Walter's World. Don't forget to like and favorite this video, and check us out at www.waltersworld.com.